but now this looks exactly like what we ate yesterday and the day before yesterday. So I realized this is the food that oh shit, this is the food that we've been eating. I just ate dog food for 2 days. You're confirming that we're eating dog food. That's what you're telling me right now. Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the Shami's Kitchen, your favorite kitchen where we make amazing meals, bake bespoke cakes, and we do fun things here. So guess what guys, we hit the 1,000 subscribers guys, and because of that I decided to give you a treat of launching my new segment, which I'll be calling Food Stories Friday. Yes guys, another very entertaining segment. And in this segment I will be sharing stories of anything related to food. I will be sharing with you fun, crazy, and sometimes downright embarrassing stories of my life all around food. And guess what, I've got plenty. This series is also about unforgettable food moments that I've had. So if you love a good laugh, a little bit of drama, and stories that will make you say, wait, what? Then you're in the right space. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit that notification bell so that you never get to miss a Food Story Friday. Let's jump into today's story, which is how I ate dog food while working in Mombasa. So yes, there was a time in my life where I was working in Mombasa. I just gotten a job and I moved from Nairobi to Mombasa. It was a job in the hospitality industry where I got a job at a hotel called Mikai. I hope those people who are in Mombasa Nyali, they know Mikai. So Mikai restaurant was a very nice restaurant where they served African food, very delicious African food, and some drinks. So this one time I was a waitress there. So it was when I was around 2021 there. I had clients that were just like regular clients, and one client was a client who was living around and used to come there every evening to just have a drink or two, and also to have the meal there, like his dinner there. He was a Mzungu guy, a white guy, yeah. And like we got to know each other, and every time he came there he wanted me to serve him. So we got to know each other, and just to get some tips. You know, if you're in the hospitality industry, like when you have these regular clients, there's that tips here and there. So when they come and they're good tippers, you always want to give them very good service. Although even if they're not tipping, you should give good service. As I was working there, the job, because of the night shifts, I was feeling like the job was becoming so tiring, and I wasn't comfortable with the night shift. So one time, because we were talking with him, one time he asked me, why do you work here? Is it because you do not have another job, or do you love your job? And definitely I told him, you have to tell your customers that you love your job, but the night shifts were not very good for you, like you're not feeling comfortable with the night shifts. So we spoke, and he told me like he has an opening in his he had built a home in Nyali, and he had these villas, like where he rents the villas to tourists who come in Kenya, or like some guests who could just come around Mombasa and they want to rent his villas. And he was looking for somebody to serve them, like the people who come. It was around four villas actually, but which were just attached to the house, like they were not far it was the same compound with where he lived. So I asked him what is the salary, because I also lived around Nyali. Actually I lived in Nyali with a cousin of mine. So I asked him where exactly his house was. He explained, and I was like, yeah, because it was just walking distance. And although Mikai also was walking distance, but at night you had to take some transport, you had to pay for transport. So I knew this was, and then the working hours was from 7 in the morning till 6 in the evening. So the hours were very nice and very accommodating for me, and I felt like this is what I was looking for. And also the salary was on top, although you can't compare the waitress job with this one, because the waitress job had a lot of tipping, and yeah, so that's why he offered a higher salary compared to the one that I was being paid at the restaurant. Yeah. So I took the job gladly, like I was very, and then the way we were with him, I felt like he's a good person, you know. And if he was the one who was going to be my boss, then I didn't have a problem with that. So I took the job. He said he liked my services, and I was like, yeah, so we good team. So I went and quit my job, and I took his job. So this one time I went the first now day to report. I went to work at 7 very early in the morning, and I got to the compound, and then I found these very huge German shepherds. Like when I knock at the door and I opened, I found these very big German shepherds, and they've been trained. They don't bite you, yeah, they don't bark at you, but they just push you until now you feel it's like they want to it's like they don't want you to enter. They are restricting you from entering until they are told by their boss to allow you to enter. So the boss comes and he allows me to come in, like he like tell the dog to stop, and they allowed me to get to the house. So I'm taken around, like orientation day 1, I'm taken around the villas, I'm taken around the place, I'm explained this is where you'll be serving the food. If you're taking the food to the villas, this is what you'll do, like normal orientation. So I start my job, and then now I'm introduced. There are other workers there. There's a gate man who I met the first one. There's a gate person who was also the gardener, and also there's 2 mamas one was the laundry person who was doing laundry and folding and all that, who I found out had stayed there for 11 good years, had worked in that place for 11 good years, which was amazing. And I felt like this is a place, if somebody can work here for 11 years, then this must be a good place. And there's another cleaning lady who was doing the utensils, now the cleaning of the house and all that, yada yada yada. So, and also there was a chef now. So the chef specifically was just in the kitchen, not washing the utensils, just cooking for the people of the villa and also for the house. So yeah, I settle in, I get acquainted with the people around there, like the rest of the workers, and then the boss, the guy, Mzungu guy, goes upstairs, now disappears. I don't see him from that time because he's done his orientation. He's introduced me to now also the laundry lady was also like a manager, because he's the person who has stayed there for the longest time. So nice people. I meet them and I'm like, I'm starting to feel at home, right? So now they don't give you tea, they don't give nothing, but there is coffee, there is cocoa, and I'm told you don't touch food here, the food is for the guests, and so you don't eat any, and then it's your first day. So definitely I've not left home while I'd eaten breakfast, so I was feeling kind of hungry. So they told me you don't eat food here, you're not allowed to eat food here until it's lunchtime. They will serve you lunch, the chef will cook for us lunch, like our separate lunch. That's all you needed. You're allowed to eat, because now I was not staying there. So yeah, I take my coffee. There was not a lot of work because we only had one villa that was occupied, so I was waiting, and they were sleeping, so I was waiting for them to wake up and start now calling the kitchen and telling the chef what they need, and then the chef will send me to serve them to their food in the villa. So well and good. So I was just settling in, and there was not much to do. I was just doing story, like getting to know each other with the rest of the employees. And now lunchtime comes. When lunchtime comes, I'm called in, because I was just at the compound seated around the swimming pool. There was a big pool there, a very nice place. So I'm seated there and I'm called in to take my lunch. So I'm hungry, I'm really hungry because I didn't take breakfast. I've just taken my cocoa, and I'm looking forward to this lunch because it's a chef. So yeah, good food I was expecting. So there I was, and then I'm served this bowl. It looks like I can't even explain. It's like bad rice. I don't know. You know that rice that it's together like ugali? I don't know how to explain it. And then it has like vegetables. And I'm like, oh, this looks delicious because of how it's served. But I've never seen such food. And I'm like, I am in a Muzungu's place. Like, and then I'm a foodie. I always love to try new things. So that doesn't bother me. I'm like, I want to try this. Yeah, maybe it's international, intercontinental food, who knows. So I go back to the swimming pool area and I'm seated there and I'm eating, and I feel like this food, I can't tell what it is, but it's kind of familiar, but it's not familiar at the same time. So I'm like, I'm hungry, I'm wanting my food, and I'm like, but I'm not enjoying the food per se, but I'm not complaining. And then night, that day ends, I return my whatever, I do my duties there, and then I go home. The following day I come, same thing happens. I do my job, my chores there, I do whatever I'm supposed to do. Lunchtime comes, the same food is served, same food is served, and I eat it. But this time I don't eat a lot. I tell them not to put a lot because I sorted myself. At this time I'd taken breakfast from home. The third day now, what was happening, I was like, me and the chef were now talking during lunchtime when he was making our lunch. So I'm standing on the doorway of the kitchen while he was on the counter making for us lunch while we were talking. And I see from the drawers, he's picked some gunias, like some sacks, big sacks, and he was scooping something out. And when I read on those, what is it called, on the sack, whatever it was written on the sock, it's written dog food. Yeah, it's written dog food. He's taken like 3 sacks, and then he's scooping something, and then he's preparing some like the food, and then whatever he was scooping, I'm seeing it looks exactly like what we were eating. And then I thought maybe he was making the dog food, but now this looks exactly like what we ate yesterday and the day before yesterday. I got curious, but I don't ask questions. So I wait. I tell myself, let me wait and see if this is the same food, because it's written dog food. So I'm there and I'm waiting. He cooks very nicely, and then I didn't leave the doorway because I wasn't called for anything. So I was just there, stories and all that. And then he serves me the same food, and other people are coming to take the same food. So I realized this is the food that this is the food that we've been eating. Oh God. And I was like, oh shit, I just ate dog food for 2 days. Oh God. I asked him. No, I didn't ask the chef. I asked the cleaning lady, because we went with her. I took my food, yes, but I didn't eat this time. So we went with her to some place to sit, and I asked, is this the food that you're served every day? I said, yeah, this is what the boss says we eat. And I'm like, can I ask you something? Because at this point, I don't want to offend anybody, and I don't know if the girl knows what she's been eating, so I don't want to scare her also. And I ask her, what kind of food is this? Because this is my first time to eat such kind of food. And she's like, yeah, it's the same food that we serve the dogs, but it's very high end and all that. Because the girl was, okay, I'm sorry to say this, but wasn't like from mashamba like this. And then she's okay, and she's telling me this story while eating. Yeah, this is what we eat. We gotten used to it. We've been here for a very long time. This is what we eat every day. And I'm like, so what? You're confirming that we're eating dog food? That's what you're telling me right now, that we're eating dog food? Yeah, it's not nice. You don't like it. Like, she's so casual about it, and I'm like, yo, man, this is dog food. No wonder I've never tasted something like this. No wonder the taste was kind of peculiar, but I'd already eaten, guys. So, yeah, that's how I ate the dog food. And I went even to the cabinets later on, because I didn't eat the third plate, not this third day. I didn't eat. I just returned. I asked her if she wanted. She said no. I returned it back to the kitchen and told the chef no. I didn't say why I wasn't eating, but I'm sure they discussed that later. And then, because of these 2 days, also the Mzungu guy was always very angry, like very angry, but not at me, but was also always angry, making noise, shouting at these people. He was a German guy who was always not eating. He wasn't eating. He had this full fridge where it was all like beers, nothing. That's all he took for, like, from morning to evening, or maybe like some like a little snack during the day, once a day. So I don't know if he was high always or what was happening. So he was always like making noise, not at me, but I was telling myself like I did like day two I wasn't very comfortable with the environment, and you know that thing that always tells you I'm not like I don't know if I really want to be here. So I was even talking to my cousin when I went back home the second day, and I was telling her I'm not sure if this is the place I want to be. So the dog food confirmed that this guy, me, I'm not taking dog food. I wouldn't be taking dog food, my goodness. But, and then it's like, there was, okay, yeah. So, that was the third day. I just stayed at that job for only 3 days. That day after my time was all out, I went home and never came back. Yeah. Yes, I decided no, me, I'm not gonna be treated like dogs. I know it's expensive food, very expensive food. I know that whatever it is, but people get used to it. It doesn't make your stomach ache or something. But no. I'm not taking dog food. Like I felt belittled. I don't know. Let me know down on the comment section. Is that something that you can adapt? Is there something, maybe I know maybe it gets to a point where you don't have food now? That's another deal, that's another story. But now there's plenty of food in this house, but why are we being served dog food? Serve us ugali with cabbages, serve us with some bad food, but human food. Like, oh, I don't know. So yeah, that's it for me. That's what my like that was one of my worst, like very bad food stories, food experience, which I was very like, it made me feel like some type of way, and I told myself, you know what, I'm not doing this. So let me know down on the comment section how you think about this food stories Friday, and what you think about my first story. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. Post these food stories, you'll be the first to be notified. And don't forget to subscribe, guys. We are road to what? Road to 2,000 subscribers. So let's get to it. Bye bye, and thank you for watching.